The views expressed on this podcast are based on a satirical and at times comical view of the subject matter. So don't get your panties in a wad. Live long and prosper, fuckers. Let's get the show started.
This is the Tempest universe, man. Hold on to your ass. You're in for a hell of a ride.
Welcome to the Tempest universe. It is Monday, and it is the 15th. We're halfway through the month, actually. The 15th of March. By the way, you know who has a birthday at the end of the month. I am an Aries, and actually, the whole month is my birthday. Who am I kidding? This is my birthday month, and welcome to Manny's birthday. Tempest Universe here. I do have some sad news to report, believe it or not. So let me get my sad music. Hold on a second. Just take it in for a second. This past Sunday, I received word that Big O, the co-host of UFO Buster Radio, in the early years, of course, and he actually made a few appearances afterwards, just for fuck's sake, because he wanted to. He was involved in a major accident. Some of you know that he's been driving semis out in North Dakota. He had what they call a semi-roll. I don't know what the fuck that is, because they have a lot of wheels, so you would think they would roll all the time. But this kind of a roll is kind of like a gator death roll. And according to his boss, he's surprised that he was in as good a condition as he was afterwards. Now, if you call needing staples on your face, by your ear, by your arm, on your knee, a collapsed lung, ribs fucked up, vertebrae just mangled. If you call that surviving, for fuck's sake, that's really fucked up. So, if you guys remember Big O, and even if you don't, he's a fellow human being, give him a shout out. Wish him well. Myself, I'll be in North Dakota from all the way up until Sunday, actually. Well, it's Sunday morning. I gotta leave at 5 o'clock in the morning, but through Saturday, let's just say. So if you're out there by Sanford Medical Center, tell him what's up. Wish him well. His recovery is gonna be a bit long, to be honest. But Big O, he's got a big old head. Stubborn. I'm sure he'll make it through. No doubt about it. It's gonna take him some time. As of today, he was communicating a bit. Actually, since Sunday, he's pretty much been on I don't know. I can't say a medically induced coma, but almost, right? You're like freaking catatonic in a way. But he can talk to folks for short periods of time. He said he's in a lot of pain. But what can you do, man? That's life. It's kind of weird, growing up with your siblings. You kind of expect yourself to be the one who's in a wreck, but it's kind of weird when the youngest of the bunch turns out to screw the pooch on a semi. And nobody knows what happens at this point, because I don't think he's been able to actually speak to anyone to let them know what went down. But it's North Dakota, man. Those roads are not easy. They're cold. They're unforgiving. And they won this time. that is the main announcement I wanted to make to start off this podcast. The other thing is that we're going to have a Bring Your Own Conspiracy night tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. Central, here on Spreaker.com. The link is in the description. If not, just go to Spreaker and find it. Because if you have a damn conspiracy, you need to come on here and share it. I know a couple of guys want to talk about some of the crazy things they've been thinking about or things that they've researched. So you get to call in. The mic is going to be open. And you get to talk about your conspiracies here at the Tempest Universe. There's a lot of conspiracies out there. A lot. I mean, you can't... we've heard them recently. We've heard one conspiracy after another coming from people who are famous, coming from regular folks, coming from people in government. There's a lot of conspiracies on every topic, to be honest. So don't be shy. Bring your conspiracy with you. You don't even got to bag it. Just bring it. That's all you got to do. Have a valid cell phone or computer. Trust me, you'll get on. You'll be able to share that with everyone. We got 3 articles for today. One of them, I tell you what, damn, it's a legacy incident, but still, listen, once in a while it's good to read about these things. Because we forget. And some of them we should forget about because there's just so much more going on now that we're missing because we're so focused on the old shit. But it's good to, once in a while go back and visit them and read how crazy things were back in the day. 5, 6 decades ago. And then compare it to what's happening today. And that's the biggest thing, right? Because if you don't compare it to tic-tac, government reports, all this kind of nonsense, if you don't compare it to the way things started back in the day, that you kind of missed the point. You kind of missed that there may be a bit of a turning around on the topic, but it comes from public figures. But again, it could be another probing where they are, finding a new groove when it comes to disinformation. So that's just the way it is. But what can you do with it? All the songs today are going to be dedicated to the Big O, except for one. But when I get to that, I'll tell you who's that dedicated to. But the first one, just because he loves Florida, even though he's in North Dakota, to Big O, and also to Game Vet, because he loves this one too.
I'm a hurricane if you get in my way. fucking scream at me?
Where's
you
the
dumb
money?
fuck you? Look at you with your fucking 48% body fat.
You know, funny thing is, before we get into this new stuff, the first two, Tinfoil Hat contest, 1 and 2, 2 weeks in, there were a lot of tinfoil hats going around. A lot of people submitting them. You know, and at that point, I wasn't putting it out to the public. I only put out the winner. Everything else, we just voted internally. We had internal judges that would take care of that stuff. Strange thing is that now that the public is supposed to vote on it, there are no entries. I can't see any entries. Now, it could be that the website's, 4.2 far fucked up, and it's not showing the entries. I'm going to check that after the podcast. Because I actually just went in. I see 0. 0 entries. Like, I really thought the Tinfoil Hat number 3, number trace, would be the one, the end-all, be-all of the tinfoil contest. But I don't know. Hopefully it's a glitch somewhere. I need to get in there into admin pages and figure out what the hell's going on. Because, man, that'd be pretty disappointing if there's no tinfoil hats. 2 weeks to go. Literally, only 2 weeks left. Somebody find me some tinfoil hat. I'll enter that shit myself and give myself a gift, to be honest. When I saw this article at first, I was like, I don't know if I should do this, because when you talk about, government incidents, cover-ups, and then transparency, they almost don't go together, not one bit. But this goes back to a legacy incident back in Dexter, and I believe Dexter's out there in Michigan somewhere. And it's funny because it talks about, the man on the streets, the man that was hired by the government to be the scientific voice, the voice of reason. The man that at one point said that unless you were trained in either by the military or in science, or you were an officer, that chances are you have no idea what the hell you're looking at when it comes to a UFO. Later on, after experiencing going to the people and talking to them about their incidents and what they see, he kind of changed that. He got away from that. I'm talking about J. Allen Hynek, who many people regard as the father of ufology. Yeah, at one point, he gave no fucks about it. If you were a farmer and you were missing like 5 teeth, you're fucked. You don't know what the hell you're looking at unless it had a bunch of teats that you milk. Other than that, you have no clue. But J. Allen Hynek, he changed that perspective. He really did. There's a quote in here from the Hynek UFO report that kind of tells you where he ended up. The quote, he actually got it from Captain E.J. Ruppelt, and he's an Air Force officer. And Hynek got this quote from this captain, and it was, "The powers that be are an anti-flying saucer, and to stay in favor, it behooves one to follow suit." That goes along with what we said in the last episode of the Tempest Universe about Air Force pilots, them reporting UFOs, and then putting their careers in jeopardy. Captain E.J. Ruppelt, however the fuck you pronounce it, he's telling you the same thing from the inside. People would not be gleefully reporting things on the side of a flying saucer unless they want to give up their livelihood. Blackballed, if you will. This is what he told J. Allen Hynek, and what Hynek put into the Hynek UFO report. The Dexter incident started March 14 in 1966. And by the way, this is the one where basically what happened is that the Air Force had no way to explain what the hell happened. They couldn't, because a lot of the folks that reported the incident were what Hynek saw as credible witnesses. And the credible witnesses in this case were reporting damn UFOs. So what does Heidnik do? What can he do, right? His credible witnesses are all of a sudden either crazy as fuck in the entire area, or we have to believe that these were actual UFOs. And not just, I saw a drone and all of a sudden I think, oh, it's an alien. No. These are people who should be aware of certain things, certain behaviors, certain patterns, that they'd be able to identify accurately if something was an aircraft and not an unidentified flying object that could not be identified. March 14, 1966, Lima Township. The Washtenaw County Sheriff, this deputy, spotted 4 strange flying objects in the sky moving at high rates of speed. Law enforcement in Livingston County, Monroe County, Sylvania, Ohio, and Selfridge Air Force Base near the Mount Clemens also reported red-green objects moving at fantastic speeds. For fuck's sake, this is every single person that Heidnik initially identified as a credible witness. Nobody was wearing overalls and married to their first cousin. Well, we don't know that for sure because they didn't really ask. But, these are the credible witnesses. Trained people in law enforcement, trained people in the military. They all saw UFOs. The same day, the Air Force and Civil Defense began the investigation into these incidents. They weren't fucking around. No, they want to know what the hell's going on. And what's the urgency? If these things were not real, and we're talking about civil defense. If you know this shit is real, and you believe that it's not what other people think that are crafts from somewhere else, why would you investigate the very same day? Pretty strange. Especially for 66, right? March 20th, 1966, Dexter Township. Colored lights catch the attention of one Frank Manor and his son Ronald. This is where the swamp gas come in. They were in a wooded swamp on a farm where they lived. The 2 men run to the strange object that apparently landed. And then they go and report it to the police. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna give you a word of advice. Stop fucking running up to unidentified flying aircraft. Phenomena, whatever you want to call it. It's not a good thing. You don't know where the hell that thing came from. Like, your parents used to tell you that shit all the time when you were a kid. Don't put that in your mouth. You don't know where it came from. Same thing. If you see a UFO, please don't just run up to it. That could give you some serious probing. So I'm going to tell you that right now. Here's what Frank Manor told reporters. This is why you shouldn't, because he could have had lost time. That wasn't a thing back in 66, I don't think. Lost time and shit. When you go and huddle up and raw dog a UFO, right? This is actually a quote from Frank Manor. He says, "We got about 500 yards of the thing. There's a problem. If you say the thing is a thing, get away from the thing. Stop fucking around. It was sort of shaped like a pyramid. Man, I ain't never seen a flying pyramid. I'm just being honest with you. So it had blue-green lights on the right-hand side, and on the left side, it had a white light. Landing lights for UFO? Like, no fucks given. Who cares? I didn't see an antenna or a portal. The body was like a yellowish coral rock and looked like it had holes in it. Sort of like if you took a piece of cardboard and split it open." Yep, he wasn't on nothing. You couldn't see it too good because it was surrounded by what he describes as heat waves, like when you see over the desert. Like, if that's not enough to make you just turn tail and run the fuck out of there, I don't know what is. He says the white light turned on to a blood red as we got close to it, and Ron, his son, said, "Look at that horrible thing." Yeah, that shit's horrible. This is why you don't run up to these things. I mean, listen to his description. Who the fuck has ever seen a flying pyramid? I mean, he went totally off the charts. It's not a saucer. It's not triangular. He say a damn pyramid flying. You know you need to run the other way. But again, Frank Manor was probably not on the list at that time of people that were credible. But guess what? Frank didn't know that the military and the sheriff was also reporting craziness around that time. It sounds like a whole fucking armada just took over the area in 1966. They were looking for something, I guess. I don't know what it is, but it's really, really strange. There's a lot of other reports in this article that came from that 1966 time frame. And as a matter of fact, I think it went all the way up to March 25th. So Frank Manor here was March 20th. So it was like 5 or 6 more days of UFO reports over this area. But the final outcome was they really couldn't report. They couldn't figure out what it was. Nobody knew what it was. There wasn't a definitive answer to what people were seeing. But of course, because some of this happened around a swamp, it could have been swamp gas. I get it. Like when Bugs is out there just farting it up, I see strange lights all the time. Yeah, it's like the gas chamber. Hynek actually put this particular sighting in his book about 10 years later in 1977 in the Hynek UFO report. He said that the Air Force had a strategy to cover up unexplained aerial phenomena. Now, the question is, did he use the term unexplained aerial phenomena? That would be fascinating that today we're back to that same term. So it would be fascinating to see if he actually used that phrase, unidentified aerial phenomena. He also says that the intra-agency disagreement brought the Air Force to the stance that given our advanced scientific knowledge, these sightings, by the very nature and the purported behavior, had to be complete and total nonsense. Isn't it weird that we're almost going the opposite direction right now? Because we have a Tic Tac video, we have the Go Fast video, the FLIR video, and we have, as this quote says, these sightings, very nature and purported behavior, which back in the day, during Hynek's time, they would push for it to be completely nonsense, but we know we can't say that now. Thanks to the internet, thanks to video, thanks to, people like Elizondo going in and stealing video, like he tried to check it out at a library. I mean, imagine what his fucking late fee is right now, right, with the Defense Department. He owes them a shitload of money. But Hynek, back in the day, he experienced the same thing. It's like almost like a governmental rubber dicking. It's no different today, right? But it's just for now, what we have is technology on our side. We have the internet, we have social media to spread it far and wide. So we'll see what happens. We will see what the final outcome is of this kind of like about face that we see in government and Defense Department. It might be. But here you go, J. Allen Hynek had the same situation back in his day. What can you do? There's another quote in here. Let's see, who gave this quote here from J. Allen Hynek? He says, once a decision was made that UFOs had to be figments of the imagination, the Air Force policy on UFOs never changed direction. It can't be, therefore it isn't. Became the guiding principle, and anyone associated with Blue Book, from director down, learned to follow suit, or else. Not so much of a democracy when it comes to UFOs now, is it? Crazy. I think they got Hynek stone cold. There is more to the sightings in 66, specifically to this Dexter sighting. Check it out. The article is in the description. Okay, let's be honest. we may see a turnaround when it comes to this UFO situation. There's little writing on the wall that this could be happening, but again, we could be getting it without the K and the Y, because at the end of the day, they could tell us between June and July that it is what it is, and they're not going to give us any answers. You can almost expect it.
Keep thinking that I could have done something, but now I'm left with an empty heart. No making amends, no waking up beside you and holding you till we forget it all. How could I know there was no second chances? Like dominoes, my life got really scattered. You couldn't keep the door shut, and now the frostbite's creeping in. 'Cause I've been stone cold since you left me here, so come home. Why won't you reappear? Things that I said came out totally wrong. Can't speak of the truth when it's tainted. I fell into a big black hole. It got me stone cold. Wizard of Oz can undo what I've done. Completely out of luck this time. I'm stuck in reverse. I gotta get away now, but I can't seem to take the lead. Oh baby, how could I know there was no second chances? Like dominoes, my life got really scattered. Still, I find myself hoping that you'll find your way back to me. 'Cause I've been stone cold since you left me here, so come home. Why won't you reappear? Things that I said came out totally wrong. Can't speak of the truth when it's tainted. I fell into a big black hole. It got me stone cold.
You know, I can't wait for Wednesday, not tomorrow. For Wednesday's Bring Your Own Conspiracy, because I really want to hear something about HAARP, especially after all this madness here in Texas with Snowmageddon, or Snowvids, as they call it. I want to know what the deal is. Who has a reason for the snow here in Texas, and whether or not, because, I mean, a lot of people were saying it was all HAARP and somebody was controlling the weather. And I don't see why, for fuck's sake. I mean, you couldn't do shit with what fell other than, lose your fucking mind. Because, I mean, you couldn't go snowboarding or nothing like that. So what a waste of fucking time that was. But I want to know. Bring your own conspiracy. Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. By the way, on Discord, if you're not about it, you got to be about it, because on Discord today, The Norm received his copy of Avi Loeb's book, Extraterrestrial. Interstellar Madness. And there's an article, and believe it or not, this came out of Yahoo Sports. Don't ask no questions, because then I won't have to lie. Up to 7 alien objects visit our solar system every year, scientists believe. And here is the word, believe. They don't really fucking know. But they're going to tell you this is about the area, the number we're looking at. This is all coming from the situation that Avi Loeb wrote about, which was Oumuamua. Now, of course, Avi Loeb says it's more like an alien drone, if you will, an alien visitor. But Norm would be able to tell us what it was Avi was talking about. But if you look at every other article that's going on right now, the 58-year-old former Harvard professor is telling you that this rock, this thing, could have been part of something larger, or it's alien to our solar system in so many ways. Not just the fact that it came from another solar system or another part of the galaxy, that it's interstellar. That's not the only reason. The characteristics of this thing was so different from anything we've ever seen. That's why Avi is going, as they say, balls to the wall, promoting his book. But, maybe we'll hear from Norm eventually to let us know what he thinks of what Avi Loeb was presenting in his book. But this happened back in 2017. Now, these scientists are getting together and they're saying there could be up to 7 of these objects a year going through our solar system. This was according to a paper the scientists are working on with the Initiative for Interstellar Studies, according to the Universe Today publication. Up to 7 of these. They actually predict that about 3% of the objects might be even stranger and wilder than Oumuamua, and they could be ejected from galaxies or entering the Milky Way from another galaxy. But why not? It's fucking space. Shit travels everywhere. Really? Why is anybody surprised about that? Up to 7 of these running around. Of course, they also bring into the topic the second object that was spotted after that. I think that this one, 2-Eye Borisov, it was kind of too fucking convenient. Like, they struggled so much with Oumuamua. The fact that it didn't have a tail, it was traveling so damn fast, faster than any other, like, comet or asteroid, that they needed someone. They needed something to explain things. And then all of a sudden, this kid out in Crimea, this amateur astronomer, what is his name? Gennady Borisov. Back in 2019, he finds 2-Eye Borisov. 2-Eye Borisov has a tail. Whoa, now we're in familiar territory. That's basically what they did. They were all happy about it. But now there's a new research area that's kind of spawned from these, and it's called exobody research. So now they're looking for shit from 4.24 coming into our solar system. But why didn't anybody think about this today? Is it all of a sudden that we have 7 of these coming in to our solar system? But now it's getting a little crazier, because now they're thinking, well, they're coming in, right? If we can identify them early enough, we can do a pass-by. We can try to land on it. We can capture it. Man, ain't nobody can capture shit. Ain't nobody can capture these things. Are you serious? Who the fuck wrote this? Captain America? Was it Thor who wrote this? No, they ain't capturing shit. Now, they are thinking about trying to land on one of these, but these things are extremely fast. Here's an example. Scientists believe that in 2019, they actually wrote, Harvard astronomers wrote that in 2014, there was one of these interstellar objects that actually traveled towards the planet Earth, towards actually Papua New Guinea at 37 miles per second. 37 miles per second. I mean, it could travel through San Antonio at a blink of an eye. And apparently now, if these things travel with this kind of speed, automatically now, they're saying, that's not one of ours. That's not from our solar system. Nope. Margaret, can you measure that? Yeah, so automatically the assumption is if they're traveling this fast, they're not from our solar system. And apparently Papua New Guinea, they had one of those because this thing actually hit the atmosphere over Papua New Guinea. And, well, you know, it is what it is. Kablooey. But it's spawned a new study when it comes to these interstellar objects. And now they're thinking about all kinds of things to try to track them down, to try to get samples, land on them, capture them, and all this other stuff that we know they're not going to fucking be able to do. I mean, fuck, we could barely get back to the moon. So we'll see. I mean, my bet's on Japan. I think Japan will be able to pull it off, no doubt. No doubt at all. But we'll see what happens. But this is where we're at right now. And they're trying to figure out where the hell these things are coming from. We'll find out soon enough. Maybe Elon can figure it out.
Even when it don't feel right, I still wanna party with her. Even when it don't feel right, you know I'ma party with her, with her, with her. She be calling on a Monday, wanna meet on Tuesday, asking me to fix me up real nice. She can wait until the weekend, she wants off the deep end, telling me to bring the stuff I like. I don't wanna let her down, so I'm telling her yes. Though I'm kinda down from the pain in my chest, but I'm putting her to sign now. I'ma feel her right now, happy from the stuff I know she likes. I've been trying my luck every day of the week, yeah. With my baby, what's up? Ay, always down every week, yeah. Know I love her too much, but I just can't get enough. She's slipping through the cracks, call my bluff. She know what's up, can't get enough, yeah. Even when it don't feel right, I still wanna party with her. Even when it don't feel right, hey, you know I'ma party with her, with her, with her. We be chillin' on the Wednesday, slept until it's Thursday. She don't wanna leave me, not just yet. Told me all about last Friday, when she went all crazy. Didn't go to bed till Saturday. I don't wanna go without, so I ask her to stay. Though she broke my heart in a million ways, but I'm putting that aside now. I'ma feel alright now, happy just as long as she's with me. I've been trying my luck every day of the week, yeah. With my baby, what's up? Always down every week, yeah. No, I love her too much, but I just can't get enough. She's slipping through the cracks, call my bluff. She know what's up, yeah. Can't get enough, yeah. Even when it don't feel right, hey, I still wanna party with her. Even when it don't feel right, yeah.
even when it don't feel right. You know I'ma party with her, with her, with her. Yeah, yeah.
By the way, I neglected to say this because I'm enjoying my Captain Morgan. The image for this particular episode is a saucer that was drawn by a deputy during the Dexter incident. Take a look at that. Take a long, hard look at that. If you're on the shitter, if you're taking a break at work and you're listening to this episode on Tuesday, look at what an officer, a deputy, during the Dexter incident in 1966, what they drew. Now tell me something. Doesn't it seem kind of strange that we still have people today reporting the same objects? I mean, there's no way we had this technology back in 66 and are running with that shit still in 2021. Because either we're super advanced in the dark government or we're slow as fuck in turning our technology over to the next best thing. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder why people don't get this podcast because, I'm just bringing you the news and saying, hey, think about this. Think about what this means to this topic and the future impacts of it too, right? The future, like this one. Aliens on distant planets may light fires to attract our attention. Honestly, when I first saw this, I was like, I just called bullshit. Right from the beginning, I didn't even care. I was like, God damn it. I need to talk about it. We've heard everything. We've heard about technosignatures. We've heard about microbial life. Right? Mars, hopefully. Honestly, that is my hope for Mars. Like, I don't give a fuck what Goody says. He did not go to Mars to fight no goddamn reptilians. Corey Good. No, you didn't. My hope for Mars is that we finally spend money on a rover that's worthwhile and can detect microbial life. That's the win-win. Really, if we can get NASA to admit that, we're good. We're golden. Microbial life on a different planet in the solar system where there's no signs of, bipedal human being life, it's a win. We've got them by the nuggets. We just got to yank on them. This study, however, says that in general, there are civilizations like us, again, because of the hubris, that spent a lot more time, building fires, killing each other off with spears and chucking knives and axes and shit like that, than they did in our own history, flying drones and having, nuclear weapons and things like that, and lasers. So they're suggesting that what you want to look for is not advanced technologies, technosignatures, or even amoebas. You want to look for enormous fires and fields of crops. Fuck the radio signals. Nobody cares about that shit. We want to find the aliens that are marrying their first cousins, and you can look at a chemical signature for that. That wasn't in the article. I just added that in there. But what they're saying is, in our history, we've spent more time without technology than we have with technology. So why not look for that? Why not look for these huge fires that might be as a result of wars? Might be, conquering warriors coming in and setting, the whole fucking country on fire. Because this is Sparta. The lead researcher Andrew Lockley of the University College of London says that that's the way we were for hundreds of thousands of years. Before we got cell phones. Why aren't we looking for that? Why aren't we looking for alien civilizations that are still in the Stone Age? I'm gonna be honest. At first, when I looked at this, I was like, "Oh, nobody fucking cares." Like, why we can't even communicate with people that are walking around in bearskin? What the fuck are we gonna do? They're not gonna pick up our signals. They're not. So who fucking cares? Okay, most of these planets, I'm sure, they're looking at it billions of years in the future. So yeah, by the time we get there, well, our planet will probably be dead. Or they'll be dead. Fucking waste of time. But in all honesty, you almost can't even argue against it because it's true. We have thousands of years that we find fossil records for, actually millions of years of fossil records, but we barely know anything about it. We have civilizations that have disappeared on our own planet and are clueless. So there may be something to this, right? That we can identify a planet that may have, ancient civilizations. They aren't tainted by technology, but we can't do shit with it. Because once we identify, what the fuck? We just move over to the next one because they're not going to get anything we send. Not a damn thing. Even if they were close by, like, Alpha Centauri or something like that. Less than 4 light years away. They're not going to get a damn thing we send them because they're still, humping dinosaurs or something like that. I don't know. It turns out that Lockley also says that common alien societies might be more like the Inca. Well, fuck, if I send an Inca a text message, they're not going to get it. They're not. So while I like the idea, but it's only good past, identification. Once you get to that point and you figure it out. Let's say we got together, we figured out this whole fucking civilization is at war. Their planet is on fire. That's it. You can't send them a message. You can't send them shit. You're pretty much done. Let them do what they do. Move on to the next planet. Oh, look, these guys are, first cousins all around. Fantastic. Let's move to the next one. Oh, these guys don't even have teeth by the time they're 33. I'm just saying, it's great. I get it. Love it. But after that, if there's no technology involved, you're 4.2 far fucked. Because you're not going to be able to communicate with these guys. Daniel Visioni, a researcher at the Cornell University, says that one method for finding these low-tech inhabitant worlds would be maybe to, get telescopes. They might have some luck at spotting the brightness and color of the planet's surface caused by alien activity. Well, I thought they all did that shit now. But no, we're looking for fire. Woo, woo, woo. We got fire. I don't know. It feels like one of those episodes of the Star Trek films where they fucked up Prime Directive and they become gods just because they try to communicate with a civilization that's way behind. I'm just saying, it just makes no sense. But I like it. That's the fucked up part about it. I actually like it. It's a good idea, but, past the identification, you're just fucked. You can't do shit with it. Zero. According to them, the technique is also could identify enormous blazes that have erupted in ancient alien cities as a result of large conflict. I like it. I just don't think it's going to go anywhere. Thanks for publishing the fucking paper. Among the other million, who the fuck peer reviewed this shit? There's no outcome to this. Just fucking drives me crazy. Anyway, that's the way it is. Damn. I can't even summarize today's podcast. But, Wednesday, I really hope that folks come in, they bring in their own conspiracy. Because I like to hear it. Now, I'm going to tell you ahead of time, do not be upset when I hang up on you. Because there's other people that might be trying to call in. So, if you got a conspiracy, give me the 1, 2 trees. That's it. Give me the cliff notes. If we feel that you need more time, we'll get you more time. I'm not afraid to give someone a platform to talk about their shit. It's all good. It's all good. And thank you for listening. Again, keep the prayers and hopes for Big O coming along. I initially planned to kind of podcast live from the hospital, but I'm not going to do that. I might put it on Discord, just Big O could say hello or whatever, but I have a feeling he looks a little bit Frankensteinish right now with all the staples, so he might not even want that. I might be able to get him a mask out there somewhere, I don't know, like a Sasquatch deal, which would fit right in, right? Yeah, he normally looks like Sasquatch anyway, so for fuck's sake. Check you guys out Wednesday. Thank you for listening. Get your damn tinfoil hats where they need to be. And that's on the contest. And this song, the last song, is dedicated to Big O because we kind of have about the same attitude, except I'm a bit more vocal about it. Ciao.
Today is the beginning of the end and the start of a new beginning. Time has come to refine yourself and let go of the demons in your head that have held you in captivity for so long. It's time to flip the page and prove them wrong. It's time for rebirth. Yeah, time's up to say goodbye to all the haters, doubters, and non-believers trying to bring you down. In the blink of an eye, you'll realize that there's so much more to the book than the page you were stuck on. Finally, you will be free to live a life you love living instead of the life you think other people want you to live. Remember, you are the highest authority when it comes to knowing what you want and what you love. So stop trading yourself for the approval from others. Ladies and gentlemen, weirdos and geeks, please repeat after me. I don't give a fuck.
I got one more for Big O, by the way, if you're still here. Because some people just they just end the podcast like, oh, he's fucking done. I'm not going to listen to the song.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Damn, damn. I don't give a damn. Damn. don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 You're mad at me for not giving you comfort. You say that I'm away so much and now you don't feel the way you felt when we were younger. But that's okay for me, 'cause I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 I don't give a damn.
Seriously, I'm out.